We regret that despite the calls of the international community, over many weeks, Russia has not taken steps to de-escalate. The Russian military buildup continues with tens of thousands of combat troops and heavy capabilities, as well as threatening rhetoric and a track record of using force against neighbors. The risk of conflict is real. Russia's aggressive actions seriously undermine the security order in Europe. Strong deterrence and defense combined with meaningful dialogue. Next week's series of engagements are an opportunity for Russia to demonstrate that it is serious about dialogue and diplomacy.
Missile blow to the major cities and critical infrastructure.
All countries, regardless of their size or who their neighbors are, have the fundamental right to decide on their own path and their alliances. The United States has been very clear that there will be no decisions about European security, no discussions about European security without the Europeans at the table. And that's exactly why we welcome that the United States is so closely consulting with NATO allies, also on the bilateral strategic talks they conduct with Russia. We welcome those talks.
TV2, Norway.
Of diplomacy, you said that you are not sure that...
The whole idea that Ukraine is a threat to Russia is to put the whole thing upside down. Ukraine is not a threat to Russia. I think, if anything, it is the idea of a democratic, stable Ukraine, which is a challenge for them. And therefore, NATO will continue to provide support to a partner, to a sovereign nation.
ZDF.
Good afternoon, Florian.
We need to be prepared for that the talks break down, and that diplomacy will fail. And that's exactly why we are sending a very clear message to Russia that if they once again decide to use military force against a neighbor, then there will be severe consequences, a high price to pay, economic sanctions, financial sanctions, political sanctions. And this has been conveyed by NATO allies, by the United States, by the European Union and others. I will not speculate on in what way the developments in Kazakhstan will impact calculations by or in Moscow. I think the main message on Kazakhstan is that violence must stop. We have seen the loss of lives, and human rights must be respected, and that also includes freedom of expression and peaceful demonstration.